Hey, beautiful souls. It is so beautiful to have you here and to get to have this experience of sharing information, sharing stories, insights, downloads, channeled information, and what I hope will always amount to helpful and inspiring information for you to live out your current existence, this life, what we have here right now in this moment, and live this out more fully, more joyfully, with more meaning and purpose. And I was reflecting on the now, which, we often talk about as within the spiritual space as being, the pièce de résistance, right? This place that we want to get to so badly. Like we meditate to get there. We go to yoga classes to get there. We take ayahuasca to get there. We do all of these things to get to this place that is just is, is the present moment. It is the only thing that exists. So why are we not spending our time here in the now and in this now moment? Well, we typically are either confounded by the past, we are caught up in it. And that's often why we use like healing modalities and practices to release us from that past. So the past is what's holding us back. It's not us being in the past, it's the past itself energetically having a grip on us and holding us in those moments, that time space, rather than being in the now. So the past is a powerful force that will prevent us from being in this now moment, in the present, really in reality, because the past is not reality. The past is gone. It's something that's past. It's no longer here with us. So that's not our reality. Reality is this now moment that we have, where you're listening to this podcast from wherever you are. The now moment for me is sitting here recording this and talking with you and sharing what's coming through. But the past is powerful because whatever it is we go through in that time space can be invitations and initiations and opportunities to learn things that are important for us to learn through those experiences. So we have an experience, we go through something, and if we do not learn from it, if we are still caught up in the impact that the hurt may have had on us, or even the positive things can still hold us back. Meaning, like, let's say you had something amazing happen in the past and that's all you think about because maybe right now amazing things aren't happening. So it's like, oh, this is like the people who get caught in or stuck in, their high school glory days. They're stuck in that time when, they were the captain of the football team and they were, they had the run of the school, and then their life just kind of went downhill from there. That's just one example. Or maybe you had a heyday in your career and you're still holding on to that time, or a time when you felt more physically beautiful, and that's when you are wishing and hoping you were there. So positive things can also hold us back, as can obviously traumatic, painful, and negative things. The energy of the past, the energy of those experiences holding us back is as easy to let go of as choosing to be in the now. And I know that's not as easy as it sounds, and that's why so many people go through traumatic, in and of themselves, kind of traumatic episodes of doing a lot of things with their body, maybe going through a lot of psychedelic initiations, or going through and, doing physical feats. Some people become ultra marathoners because they feel like they can release some of their demons and move into their now body through that kind of thing. So there's a lot of things we can physically put ourselves through in order to also come into this now and come into the present. What I think is really interesting and fascinating about this is that we are already there. And so it's easier than it sounds, but harder to do. So why is it harder to do? Why is it hard for us to just accept that right now is all there is? It's because those memories and those thoughts are so, so powerful, but they're only powerful because we give them energy. We pour energy into, or if you pour energy into those past thoughts, memories, thought forms, which take more and more form the more energy you put into them. If we're pouring our energy into those things, we are then giving them life. We are giving them form. If we think about life itself, the universe, the God's creation here as just an energetic template, and we're all just, taking different masses, and we carry different energetic signatures to where we vibrate in a specific way, and then see things in those specific frequencies. If that's the case, we are putting, and we can give our memories form as well by pouring our thoughts into them. And our feelings have a ton of energetic weight as well. The more you feel about something, the more weight it has, the more mass it has, the more form it takes. So we can put our deep feelings of, let's say, hurt, or in those positive cases, just like feeling of pride and feeling of such joy that we may have had at that time. But when we put our feelings and our thoughts deeply into these memories and experiences of the past, what we're doing is giving them our energy so that they remain in form. It can be great if it's a positive thing you want to remember about, right? It's good to have remembered some of these negative experiences so that we can let them go, forget about them. But why does it take us a long time to let go and forget? That is only because we are pouring our energy still into them. It's only because we are not seeing ourselves as divine beings of light, of co-creative ability to live in our absolute present with and in the exact state we want to. That's where, when we pour our energy into that place, into the now moment, into this current vessel, there's nothing we need to let go of. There's nothing we need to forget about. There's nothing that we need to heal from. There's nothing that we actually need to overcome from the past, because it will dissolve. It doesn't exist anymore when you fully present yourself, when you fully pour all of your energy into now, into where you currently are, how you're currently feeling, what you're currently thinking, what you are doing, the energetic vibration that you're existing in right now. And that takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to focus in on the now. That's why so many of the practices that people come onto this podcast to talk about are so important, because it gets us out of that habit of, being in the past, or we're going to talk about this in a moment, in the future. So being in the now sometimes requires focus and practice that can come through meditation, that can come through a ceremony that you might go through on a weekend, that then just drops you directly into your body and into the now, in a place maybe you've never even felt that before. Maybe you've never even been there before. And when you get to visit there, you go, holy shit, this is someplace I can never leave. I want to stay here all the time. This is amazing. So those initiations can be extremely powerful and wonderful, as long as you can also, I believe, without any other external stimuli or external forces, if you can remain in that place, in the now, without any of that, then you've really arrived. Then you're actually there. And you can be present in there at any moment, at any time. You don't have to go away to do that. But these goings away, these times and these special experiences that we embark on are so, so powerful in triggering we're catalyzing, initiating ourselves into the present moment. When you pull yourself out of that comfort zone or out of your normal routine and into a new experience, and if it's guided, and if it's an experience with people who are really powerful, transformative agents for you, then you can actually be more present, because when we're in our normal routines, we're typically not very present because everything is so rote, right? It's so habitual. You just do the thing that you always do every day. You drive the car to your job, or you make the breakfast, or you do whatever. Those routines, we tend to turn our brains off, right? Our brains can go into a brain wave that doesn't require a lot of thought or require a lot of consciousness. So I'm not saying sit here and just be thinking about your life all the time, but being in a state of consciousness about the now rather than doing something and maybe being in your thoughts, thinking about the past or the future. So those routine things that are maybe not totally dropping you into your body can sometimes be a place where your mind now has an opportunity, because you don't need to think about the drive, right? Your mind starts to spin, and you're thinking about something in the past or the future that's taking you away from, excuse me, present moment. So the practice is like meditation, for example. Okay, yes, that can be rote, repetitive. It can be routine. It can be something. I mean, I routinely do it. So can you get into a routine kind of place with it? Absolutely. You can just go through the motions with anything, right? Just because it's called meditation and because you're doing the thing, you're sitting there, you're doing the breathing, you're closing your eyes, you're doing that thing, you can absolutely fall into a cycle of that not being impactful, powerful, transformative. It can be as, I guess, let's say useless as just, anything that you might do that's routine and has no intention and has no presence. So when we intend to have presence with something, we go into it with that focused consciousness that in this moment, we're going to allow whatever's meant to happen in this moment to happen, that we're going to allow to come through whatever's meant to come through. So when meditation happens, it's not just, okay, I'm going to do these series of 10 cycles of breath in this way and do, close my eyes and think about this particular set of things in this way. And then I'm going to get this set of results. It's not prescriptive in that way. It is taking that time. Yes, maybe doing some specific breathing or being in a specific set of circumstances environmentally so that you can go there. But then you go there into the deep depths of your soul and into this connective place with source consciousness so that you feel that oneness with all things. And from there, we get the answers. We get to ask the questions. We get the downloads. We get the connected experience of whatever's meant to come in that moment, right then and there. Not okay, we're going to have this mindfulness practice just to calm down. Now, okay, that's a great place to start. Don't get me wrong. It's a great place to go and start meditation, to simply let go of the power of the mind. And that's where a lot of people start. I certainly started meditation that way. And it was really hard for me. It was hard for me to let go of my thoughts, to let go of the power of my mind, thinking about things that were typically in the future. I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about the past. I would do more past kind of rumination in, therapeutic settings. But in like meditation settings or even yoga or anything that I was doing, we'll just call them from a holistic standpoint, I was typically pulled out of it by the future. So let's talk about that. The future is another powerful form right? It's where we can pour both our thoughts and our energies and our emotions and our intention into the future, which is directly pulling us out of the now. So the future and focusing all of our energy there can be as harmful as focusing it on the past. Harmful in the sense that it's pulling you out of the now. Is it, net harmful? No. I mean, you can live your life that way and you're going to be fine. But if you want to live in your highest and best version of yourself, if you really truly want to live the dream life that you feel inside of you, then it's about dropping into this now moment and into the powerful place of connectedness that you can experience in the now, where all the answers that you're looking for arrive, where all of the feelings that you want to have can be created. If you're worried about the future, come back to the now, to where you can feel this beautiful breath in your body and go, wow, I'm alive right now. I'm breathing right now. This is amazing. I have nothing to worry about. I feel pretty awesome. Now, if your now is mired in, let's say, some physical pain, anxious thoughts, depression, maybe physical ailment, all of those things that are existing in your now, yeah, of course, it is very natural to be pulled or want to be pulled out of the now and into some sort of future or past state of when maybe you felt better. But let's say you've suffered your whole life, whether it's physical, emotional, mental pain, then most likely you're going to be stuck in the future somewhere thinking about, oh, well, life will be better when. Life will be better when I get that promotion, when I find my soulmate, when I'm finally stable, when I'm free of this illness, when I'm at fill in the blank, right? We think about and are pulled into the future because we don't want to be feeling and experiencing what we may be feeling and experiencing in the now. But the only way we can change what we are experiencing in the now is to be in the now. We can't be in the future and work on the now. A lot of people, when they're talking about manifestation and talking about co-creating their future and building their dream life, will talk in well, not a lot of people, but some people talk in this future language. And then there's a subset of people that will say, don't talk about what you want to create in the future like it's in the future. Talk about it like it's now, like exists currently. That will help pull you into this now moment. But that can be a brain trick, right? I think that one of the best places we can actually get to, which isn't a trick at all, is to just appreciate everything you have right now. Even if you are at the lowest low, let's say just at the rock bottom of your life, there are things that you can appreciate about life. And that could be the breath that you have. It could be that you can see what's around you and notice something beautiful and something to be in awe of. That's a choice. Can you look around and only see evil and negative, destructive things and awful things? Absolutely. Yes. But that's another thing to be grateful and appreciative of. Oh, I have agency. I actually have free will to where I can see and focus upon what I want to focus on. Okay, if I'm going to do something about my current state, let me focus on that beautiful bird. Let me focus on these gorgeous clouds. Let me focus on something that is not a reflection of that current negative thing you might be experiencing. So we don't just get out of our let's just call them in lump sum, our negative states by thinking about the future state that we want to be in. We get in it by appreciating everything here within our now, within this moment. We can do that through, like I said, just noticing things, noticing what you can appreciate and have awe over and feel grateful for. And just working up from there, working from wherever you are, right? So if it's only that you can notice this beautiful bird and go, wow, that's pretty freaking amazing. If it's only that, then start there. And then go from there. Maybe you already are like, man, I feel amazing. I'm healthy. My life is good. I have a great relationship. What can you appreciate, find awe in, and be grateful for beyond that current state? You can just look more deeply into anything. You can look and into an expansive of the energy of anything and just see so much beauty, so much to be awestruck over, because there's so much we still don't understand. There's so much mystery around. That's something, at least for me, that feels awe-inspiring. Just the mystery of things. Like, how did this get here? How is that working that way? How am I, existing in this way? How is it that when I think about the things that I want, they appear? How is it that when I create this and dream about now this is where we start getting into, yes, putting into place some of our future forecasting. We can bring up an image, we can visualize what we want in our future life. But if we don't spend time in this now present moment, that future life that we're envisioning may never come, because there's a lot here in the now that we have to process, or that we get to process. We get to process what might be blocking us from being fully present and in the highest vibration of ourselves. We get to clear out whatever might be creating this veil of illusion. We get to fully realize and know that we are not our stories. We are not this just collection of cells and bones. We're not certainly our memories and our thoughts and our feelings. Then what are we? I believe that we are souls or light incarnating in these bodies, and we get to experience the fullness of this experience. Good, the bad, the ugly, the whole thing. And through that full experience of human life, we get to feel, we get to think, we get to touch, we get to have these sensual experiences, we get to experience different types of relationships and different types of, always, if we look at it this way, awe-inspiring moments that we can learn from and grow from and become more realized through. All of that is choice. We can go through this life thinking, that this is it. I am just a product of my past and this physical body, and suffer from that through, the rest of your life, or never grow out of your past, or never, do more than what you may have done in your past. So all of it being just sort of stuck there. Or we can also be stuck in our future, to where we're always chasing and worried and wondering whether we're going to ever get that thing, and waiting to be happy, waiting to be in joy, waiting to feel the fullness of life, waiting for something that may never come. And I guarantee you it's not going to come if you are always there and not here. fully present in this now. Visualizing, which sounds so very proactive and productive. Oh, visualize the future. Manifest your future by focusing upon what it is you want out there. If you don't do that in the correct way, meaning in the present state, then you can very much suffer from the always being in the wanting state, in the will it ever happen state, in the wondering and wanting place. So let's be in wonder of this moment and this current moment. Be in wonder of what we are feeling and thinking and experiencing right now. Look around you. Tune into your body. Feel the deepest depths of whatever it is that you're experiencing right now. Even if that's sorrow or pain, feel that to its depth and its core, because that's the only way for us to actually learn from it. It wants to be felt. It wants to be seen. These emotions, just like thoughts that can become form, so can feelings. Feelings can absolutely take form. They are energetic forms as well. Feelings want to be felt. And obviously, most of us don't want to feel all the shitty things that we might feel. But that's why we sign up for this, to feel into the fullest depths. And when you do, you learn the lesson that that feeling is here for, that is meant to give you. And most often, you get to feel it and say, thank you for that. Thank you for that lesson. Thank you for that incredible experience of feeling the depth of sorrow, feeling the depth of that fear. Because if we don't give it the attention, these feelings, if we don't give them the attention that they deserve or that they want, really as their own kind of separate energetic entities, then they're going to still hang out and they're going to be there and they're going to be knocking on your door every so often or hiding out and creating havoc in your life otherwise. No matter what, you are dealing with them, whether inactively or proactively. So that's what some of the fun stuff we get to do in the now moment, right? Feel the depth of our feelings, create with our thoughts, actually use our thoughts in our empowered way from the depths of our soul rather than our ego. Our ego gets thought. So it's like your thoughts are in the control of your ego. When you're operating from your soul, you get to think your thoughts. You get to create the thoughts you want. It's a flip of the driver's seat. You get to be in that driver's seat of your thoughts. And then we also get to let in this now moment, when we sit in our highest vibration, we get to let in the consciousness of creation, to actually experience what that's like. Getting ideas out of nowhere, getting feelings and thoughts and inspiration from who knows where. It is the collective consciousness, this source consciousness that we have access to and we can tap into at all times. So when we're there in this now, not there, here, right? In this complete nowness moment, we get to fully tap into these resources that exist at one with your own, what you have. And you'll start to kind of feel silly. Like this is, oh, you used to think that all you had to access were your own thoughts, your own memories, your own experiences. But actually, we get to tap into the consciousness of all. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty incredible. And this is why, why I believe that the, inventions popped up at the same time around the world, when maybe travel wasn't as uh, prolific as it is now, or that different people get the same thoughts, that they think are original, or that really there's not many original thought going around in general, that we are all just pulling from this collective consciousness. Can we put our own unique stamp and signature on something? Absolutely. Yes. That's what we're here for, to interpret and to put life through our filter, to put and interpret it through our own creative forces. We get to experience life in that way. And that's why we all do experience, right? We're all here on the same planet. We're all, let's just even take the microcosm of a neighborhood. You're all in the same place. You're all breathing the same air, looking at the same stuff, but you can talk to each of those people and everybody's having a different experience, right? Most people are living, let's say, within the matrix. They're living within a very prescribed, programmatic set of experiences that humans go through here, that all come through a system of top-down control, media and the systems of schooling and government that keep people, thinking a certain way, and then therefore experiencing life in a certain way, so that those folks will see and experience what's around them all very similarly. But you don't have to live that way. You don't need to be within that frame. You can absolutely be in the same neighborhood, in the same wherever, as people sort of stuck within that programming, and see things in a completely different way, experience what is around you and who you are and what you're feeling and what you're creating in a completely different way. We are all, and we do all have the ability to live from that place, to create from that place, and therefore live the life that we want to live. Agency, free will, choice, empowered consciousness. These are all things that we aren't just words. They aren't just concepts. They are a way of being if you choose to, right? So it all comes back to that choice. And so often people don't make that choice, if they ever do, unless they're kind of like at that rock bottom moment under a rock and like can't get out, or, this is like the final straw moment of their life. But I urge you to start, if you haven't already, before you get to that place, before you get to the no choice place. The no choice place isn't fun. It's not a great place to be, but it's often where many of us get sent because we aren't listening and we aren't awakening and we aren't aware. So life, God, this experience will give you that kind of choice point and say, okay, well, if you're not going to listen, then we're going to throw this at you. And now, are you going to listen? Now, are you going to be aware to the divine light that is you, to everything that you have at your disposal to live into this life, to breathe into this life? Are you going to use the gifts that we gave you? Are you going to actually use them? Or are you going to waste away this life not being aware and not taking the full reins of this life? So these are our choices, folks. We can spend time in the past, we can spend time in the future, or we can be in the beautiful now. And in this beautiful now, we can create, knowing that we have the support of the universe, of source consciousness with us to create with and to play with. And once you start doing that, you'll meet all the other humans that are doing that too. And you'll go, oh, I recognize you. And oh, wait, you're speaking that language. And oh, you're having fun here too. Like, let's go. Let's do this. I hope that when you tune into this podcast, you meet more of those people and then you actually connect to them. I've had people reach out to me and say, oh, I'm working with one of your podcast guests. So I hired one of your podcast guests after hearing them on the podcast. And that to me is one of the most beautiful things to hear. Yes, listen in, tune in all the time, but also connect out, connect to. If anyone resonates with you, even including myself, please reach out. We're all here having this experience. And if I know personally, I could speak for my guests because I know all of their hearts that they would all feel the same way too, that they would want you to reach out to them. And I do too. So reach out, connect, get more from this experience through the listening of this podcast. Instead of just turning it off and going or moving on to the next podcast, right? Because your podcast player is probably queued up with the next one. Or if you're on YouTube and watching this, then it's going to be moving on to the next thing. Before you move on, before you listen to the next thing, take in the next thing, sit with this information. Tune in to it. What gifts did you receive from the listening? What support might you need in moving forward from here, from this now, and into your next now? And if that's any type of support that myself or my guests can give you, reach out and keep tuning in, folks. It's been such a pleasure being with you. I'll look forward to the next time. Have a gorgeous rest of your day.